Hi, it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials as well as give a lot of baking business tips. And I know it's been a long time since I've actually shown my face on camera, but today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to be taking you guys on my journey of how I actually get all of these dessert tables together. And I'm also going to be showing you how I put it together throughout the end of the video. So firstly though, I need to go to a specialty flower shop. I'll put their Instagram right there down below. It is just the greatest place for when you want those really rustic, elegant looking flowers on your cake. Unfortunately, it's kind of far away. It's not super far, but when you have two kids, it feels far. So let's get into it.
So it was about 10 o'clock in the morning when I got up to bake all of these things, and I wanted them to sufficiently cool before heading off to the flower shop. About a 15 to 20 minute drive there, and the flowers were absolutely gorgeous. I was feeling a little bit nervous because I wasn't sure if they would have the exact right colors. My sister-in-law's wedding colors are going to be a dusty rose, which is super trendy right now, as well as a sage green. So I wanted to make sure that I nailed it. No other flower shops that are near me actually have these type of kind of vintage, rustic looking flowers. So I knew I needed to come here. Even just walking in, you can see right away that they have a really nice style to their florals. Now, I was in a little bit of a rush at this point because the parking in this particular area is very, very tight, and you have to start pay parking after 30 minutes. So I was really rushing the kids and wanting to get out of here as quickly as possible. Luckily, it wasn't busy and they were very efficient.
So we just finished going to the flower place. It ended up being $45 for that small bouquet, but it's really, really pretty. It's going to look really good on the cake. And now, of course, my kids are hungry, so I need to go and get some lunch for them. And then we are going to go back home and I have to get to decorating. Okay, so I got the kids settled with their lunch. It's about 1 o'clock. 1:30 in the afternoon. Before I left, I had baked the cakes like I mentioned earlier, and then I also got all of my fillings ready. This is very different than the cakes that I normally do. Normally I either have some sort of like, compote filling inside or something that's less labor intensive and not very dairy based. But because this is for my sister-in-law, they really, really wanted this tuxedo cake that we have at our local grocery store. If you guys are Canadian, you probably know it. Save on Foods, the tuxedo cake. Now what I'm making is really not super close to it, but it's my take on it. And they've got that ganache in there, and they've also got chocolate mousse in there. The only thing I'm missing is the white chocolate ganache. I didn't realize I didn't have white chocolate, so hopefully that's gonna be okay. I mean, I'm doing this as a favor, so I think it better be okay. And so here, I've got my ganache filling that has set. Now, whenever I'm filling cakes with ganache, I generally like to take it out of the fridge for a little bit beforehand because it makes it impossible to spread if you don't do that, depending on what ratio you use. And then I've got my chocolate mousse here, which looks actually very beautifully set. I can kind of tell that it's nice and set because when I go like this, it's not shifting, which is exactly what we want. And this is going to be a naked cake. So on the tutorial, when I show you guys that, it is going to be a little bit more involved than just your regular naked cake.
So I finally got that done. Everything is a little bit of a mess, so I am going to clean up. Super important to clean up in between every single project so that you don't get crumbs on the next thing. And the next thing up here is the macarons. I just had a few leftover macaron shells. These are actually from my Paris party that I had a couple weeks ago, and I froze them, and I wasn't sure what type of filling I was going to be using, but I had some ganache left over from the cake, so I decided to just fill those up. And I used a little bit of a different piping pattern this time around. It was a little bit more labor intensive, but there's only 5 macarons. My sister-in-law isn't really a huge fan of them, so I just decided to have a few for the dessert table. Making some buttercream here, and I've actually done a new thing whenever I'm making American buttercream now. I actually add in hot water. It really helps dissolve some of that graininess that sometimes occurs when you're making American buttercream.
All right, so I just finished crumb coating the semi-naked cakes, which is basically like having actually decorated them because that is what a semi-naked cake is. But I'm gonna save stacking it for tomorrow because that's when I'm gonna place all the fresh flowers on there, and it'll just be a lot easier to do that tomorrow. I'm also going to finish icing the cupcakes tomorrow. I always ice the cupcakes fresh because if you do it the day before, I mean, my buttercream is pretty good, but sometimes you can develop a crust on there. It's just not as pleasant. So because it's cream cheese frosting this time around, I'm gonna do it fresh. And then I'm also going to clean up right now. And I also finished doing the sugar cookies as well. So there's really not too much to do tomorrow, which is perfect. The next thing you'll probably see me do is load up the car with all of the stuff that I actually need.
So I did end up cleaning up completely before going out that night. However, I did lie about the next thing that you would be seeing. It is always my intention to load up the car, not just right before I leave, but that never seems to happen even when I plan it out that way. Right now I'm making the cream cheese frosting with a lot of lemon in it. I put in lemon zest, putting in some of those oils just to get it really, really nice and lemony. We are in the final hours here, so I am piping these nice and quickly. I woke up around 7 o'clock this morning, and I am going to go to the party around 12 o'clock just to set up. And the party actually starts at 2. I wasn't sure if I would need those full 2 hours to actually set up, but I really did, because whenever you're setting up in a different place, it can get a little bit tricky to figure out what you're doing, but we're going to talk about that more. What I'm doing here is I'm just adding on a few details. I was going to leave it pure white, but I thought that I should bring in some of that sage green as well as some of that dusty rose into all aspects of the dessert table. I also end up adding a little bit of gold here and there. It's really just to warm things up. It's not really a big accent color throughout the dessert table. And of course, I have to have at least one fail when I'm making a dessert table like this. This is what happens, my friends, when you are rushing. I allowed my white chocolate to seize up. I generally do put these things on a double boiler to avoid that, but I was in a rush, so I obviously cranked up my microwave way too high, let it go for way too long, so I ended up getting little chunks in there. Luckily, when I tasted the chocolate, it did not taste burnt, but it did make me have to add a lot more detail on there. So I'm adding in all of those royal icing leaves and using this Russian tip for all of the flowers. Really, really quick and simple. And actually, I did like the way that it turned out looking. I just wish that it hadn't seized up the chocolate, because I actually wanted to do something a little bit different, but no big deal. I decided once again to add on a few more of these to make sure that everything looked kind of uniform.
Here we are in my bathroom, which I rarely film in, but I really wanted to show you guys what it's like. So no makeup done, nothing done right now. So I am going to quickly get ready. This is crunch time. I'm gonna load up the car, get everything going, and then hopefully we'll be on site very soon. Finally ready, makeup is done, and I am ready to place all of these treats precariously in the car, because that's how we do it when we do events.
It is such a short distance to my in-laws' house, and yep, that is the look that my husband generally has when we have to do these things, especially if he has to drive, because he knows he has to drive very, very carefully, and we're trying to kind of jigsaw this all in together.
These things are part of my preparedness kit, so I made all these so in case there's any mistakes, I can cover them up with this. I have some cream cheese frosting in here, some American buttercream, and the royal icing. And I have the sprinkles as well in case I need to cover anything up too.
All of the pedestals, the crates, things that I need to make sure that my table looks nice and leveled, as well as the actual products themselves. And this cake is going to be sitting on my lap. I find that's the easiest way to transfer things, especially if I have the luxury of putting things on my lap and having someone drive me. Now, this is the space that I'm working with. It was really, really tricky for me. It actually took a very long time for me to kind of transform this space. It's just one solid table, which sometimes can be a little bit more difficult because you need to add in those levels, and I didn't really have a clear vision in my mind. I couldn't quite remember how large this table was. My whole thing is I wanted to make this look pretty full. I like it when my tables look really full. Some people like a little bit more sparse simplicity. That is definitely not my style. I like to have it all packed in here, and this whole rustic look is also not my style, but I've invested in things over the years like these wooden boxes so that I could try to kind of transform it from glam to this more rustic look. While this was all going on, my mother-in-law was chopping up vegetables, getting all of the snacks ready, and everybody else seemed to just kind of be chilling out in the living room. This is very, very typical where everybody else can relax, and I am usually doing something like this if it's an event, like a birthday or an engagement party. This is actually a really, really special day. Because of all the restrictions, we really haven't seen this side of the family in a very long time in person indoors, so it's a pretty big deal, which is also why my daughter was kind of jumping up and down earlier. Final finishing touches, I'm going to be writing on the menu here. It was incredibly tricky because I forgot my good pen. I'm just using regular sidewalk chalk, but I think it worked out in the end. I really just wanted to be able to tell people what the flavors of everything was, because when it's a party, you really don't have time to tell everybody what everything is. At this point in time, I can breathe a sigh of relief and I can finally enjoy the party myself. And let's just talk about pricing very quickly. I mean, I don't really have an exact price for this whole setup. I get a lot of people asking me about this, especially family and friends. And the truth is, my answer has changed a lot over the years. Before, I used to give a very definitive price, but truthfully now, this is only something I would do as a labor-intensive gift, because it truly would be thousands of dollars if you wanted me to set this up as a purely commissioned thing. It's not just about making the desserts, it's about making the desserts very thoughtfully and making sure that everything is well placed, fits in with the space, and is made in the correct order so that everything stays really nice and fresh. And I'm also just one person, so this would definitely drive up the cost. So I much rather just do it out of love for my family and friends. Now let's get into the subscriber submission of the video. This is so delicious looking. I just want to sink my teeth into all of that fresh fruit. Be sure to drop them a like and drop them a comment. And if you guys want to be the next featured subscriber submission of the video, then please follow me at SD Bake Shop on Instagram, where you can either tag me in a photo or send me a photo. All and any dessert levels are welcome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!